Alright guys, welcome to another live video. We are at a commercial property and we're doing a lockout. So basically a lockout is what you do for commercial properties if you were trying to get your rent. This usually happens when the tenant has not paid the rent on time. As it's January 17th, rent was due 16 days ago and the tenant has not paid their rent. So how we do this is first we get the necessary parts that we need. We usually get that at Home Depot. And then we come over here and we do the lockout. So the first time I did this, I used tie ropes and it didn't really work. He was able to just kind of, I don't know, maybe just cut the rope off or whatever. Now we use cable wire and we're gonna have that go around the gate. So hopefully this keeps them from entering. We're using a combination lock from Home Depot. This is about $15. This is about $29 or about $30. So for a total of $45. If the tenant doesn't bring this back to us or they damage it in any way, then we're going to charge them. But usually what happens is you lock them out. We're not done with the paper. Oops. I actually got to tape that to the middle right here so that if they try to bust in, it will rip the paper. And then from there you can, they are actually trespassing and you can call the police or file an eviction or something. But we usually start with a lockout. It's pretty effective, and it definitely tells the tenant, hey, you need to pay your rent if you want to regain access to your property. If they're locked out for more than 3 days, you can actually take back the property and liquidate any of the assets for monetary damages. But most likely this happens about every month, and we just have to go out here, do the lockout, and then they pay their rent within the next, 2 days. So right now we're gonna go ahead, set the camera down. We're gonna put our paper on here. We use blue painter's tape. It's cheap paint, and we put that there. And then other than that, always make a note to take a picture of the combination so that you know what the code is when they pay you. You don't forget. Hopefully this cable wire is good and it holds up pretty well. It wasn't that expensive. If they somehow find a way to get through this, then we'll have to move up to getting chains. But this is the next best thing we could get. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and set the camera down and we will go ahead and film this. Let's see if I can get a spot. Oh, it won't let me do that. Oh man. Okay, so you guys can see me. So I'm gonna put this paper on there. We already got the rest of it on there. We use painter's tape because it's cheap. I love it, it's decent. See this? Angle. There we go. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and look at our result. That's kind of what it should look like. You really want to make sure that you do a great job putting this paper on there. You want it to look, obviously professional, and you want it to try to display as much as possible. If you're missing you know, if you're covering it up with, it just says lockout, or it's not showing the no trespassing, violators will be prosecuted, that's kind of a problem. You want to make sure you're showing all of that. And yeah, that engine's loud. And then you want to make sure you do this right, do it well, so that they can't get in. Obviously, I always recommend take a picture. Don't rely off your memory. If you forget, it's going to suck to get that off. And then if they do get this off and they bust in, it's going to for sure rip this paper, because we secured it pretty well. And it looks pretty nice too. So this is a lockout. And if you guys like this video, please leave a comment, like, and definitely subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you on the next one.